Hello and welcome to Cooking with the Wooden Spoon. Today we are making a hearty and fall-like and winter-like vegetable soup. I'm going to throw in some barley as well. I don't always do that, but this summer I was able to go to the West Side Market in Cleveland and stock up on some pretty amazing grains. So I want to put some of the West Side Market urban herbs grains in this soup. I love making roasts, and I often make roasts in a slow cooker. And with the leftover roast, I almost always make vegetable soup or some sort of beef soup. You've probably noticed on my channel that I have a lot of soup recipes. I make a lot of soups. Soups for me are comfort and healing and soothing and delicious. So my soups almost always start out with the mirepoix, which is carrots, onions, celery. This soup is no different. So most of the soup is just a dump soup, but I do cook the mirepoix first, mainly so that I can guarantee that the carrots are cooked the whole way. For this vegetable soup, I'm using a lot of canned and frozen vegetables. That's usually what works best for me, but I have lovely carrots from my garden, and I definitely wanted to use those. And I do have celery in the garden, but I did not harvest it yet. I have a few more stalks that I need to go down and get, and I'll get them probably this weekend. For now, I'm just going to cut all of my mirepoix vegetables, and I'm just doing 2 russet potatoes. I'm going to get these all chopped, and then I'll meet you at the stove. Okay, we're ready to cook our mirepoix. So we've talked before how I do a schedule every week of food that I'm making for the week, and I've done that for decades. But I've had people ask me, how do you have the energy to cook every day? I don't. So you'll see in the background here that I've got 3 crock pots going right now. And these crock pots are for many days of meals. I make meals when I have time to make the meals and when I have the energy to make the meals. I don't always feel like cooking. I'm going to add salt and pepper to our mirepoix and thyme. But I don't always feel like cooking. I love cooking and it makes me really happy. But I also love planning. So if you don't have time every day to cook and you don't have the energy to cook every day, hey, that's okay. I think the best thing we can do is just to be real with ourselves and to do what we can. Cooking doesn't have to be a big production every day, certainly. I worked full time when my kids were little, and it was so much work just being a mom and trying to keep your head above water. Cooking wasn't always in the cards, and it wasn't always anything that I had energy for. And now my kids are grown and I still don't have time and energy to cook every day. But with planning, you can eat home cooked food every day. So I plan and I cook when I can. I love to put meals in the freezer for days that I don't feel like cooking. I think organization is one of the keys to good health. So we're just going to let this cook for a while on the stove. And as we let this cook, I'll come over and stir it every once in a while. But we're going to get the rest of our soup put together. It just comes together pretty quickly after this. As I said earlier, this really is pretty close to a dump and go. So we are just going to add two russet potatoes to our crock pot. And a can of wax beans. I did drain the wax beans, so we're going to throw that in. I would say 2 cups of beef is what I have put in here, is what I'm trying to put in here, but it doesn't have to be exact. You don't actually even have to add the beef. I have certainly made vegetable soup, vegetable barley soup, so use what you have and do what you can. So I'm going to put in some green beans as well. Matt is a big fan of green beans, so I will probably put the whole can or the whole container of green beans in this, because why not? They're healthy. And I am a big fan of corn. Something about vegetable soup and corn. I can't seem to have vegetable soup without corn. So we'll have our mirepoix that we're going to put in here. And I always put tomato sauce in my vegetable soup. This is tomato sauce from my garden. You could do a can of tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes, or you could do tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, whatever is good. And then whenever I make the roast, I reserve the broth from the roast. And I also make my own broth out of soup bones. We are going to put as much broth as we possibly can in here because I love a brothy soup, rich brothy soup. And our Steelers crock pot can hold a pretty nice amount. So it's almost to the top though. So I'm going to wait and see how much room we have left after we put our mirepoix in. And if I have any room, I don't think I will add this. But if I don't use this, it's going to become something else amazing. So we're just going to stir our veggies and wait for the mirepoix to be done. And then we'll put them in here together. So easy. Did I put the barley in? I think I might have forgotten. Yep, there we go. We're going to throw the barley in too. Now the barley will soak up a little bit of the moisture as well. But that's what gives the barley like the awesome deep rich flavor. Tomato paste will incorporate into the soup. So pretty easy. This is really the last step. We're just cooking this together and we're going to add it to the soup and hope we have room in our bowl or in our crock pot. I think we will. Just cooking this for maybe a minute. And the crock pot, this soup will cook on low, as I mentioned before, for 6 to 8 hours. I don't think I'm having this soup today. Maybe I am. I'll have to look at my schedule. I don't think that I mentioned that these carrots are from my garden. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But it's looking pretty full. I think we're going to stop here. I probably have another couple of tablespoons of the mirepoix left. But I think I might just throw those in with my meatballs. So we're going to be good. I am really excited about this soup. So now we just walk away and live out our day and come back to a delicious dinner. Well, our soup has been in the crock pot all day and our house smells fabulous.
It does. You did a good job.
Yeah. So we're going to give it a try.
Your fall is here video.
Fall is
Multiple
here.
crock pots.
Yep. 3 crock pots. That's awesome. Very rich tasting. It's funny how good the corn is for being just frozen corn.
Yeah. Is it the garden tomatoes?
Yep. Garden tomatoes, garden carrots. We did not have enough green beans this year to freeze.
No, I ate them all.
We both did. Really good. I love how the fresh beef stock tastes. You don't get a salty aftertaste. It just tastes amazing.
It's good.
Yeah, it was easy. Came together quick. Pretty cool. We're going to go enjoy our soup.